failure. All right. When it comes to failure, I really believe in this quote. A man is not defeated by his opponents, but by himself. Did you hear what I just said? A man is not defeated by his opponents, but he's defeated by himself. And the reason why I'm saying that to you this morning is because most people do not need to learn about how to overcome their rivals. They really need to learn how to get out of their own way. Some of you right now, hear me very carefully on the onset, you are your own worst enemy. You remember the other day, I was in Numbers 13, and I told you that we look like grasshoppers in our own eyes. It's not how your enemy sees you. It's how you see yourself. So I'm going to open here by talking about self-sabotaging behaviors. Self-sabotaging behaviors. Now, here's where some people about to drop off, because I'm talking to either one or three people. All right? All right? The wills, the wants, or the can'ts. You either will, you won't, or you can't. That's one of the three. I'm telling you right now. You're one of them three people. I know all y'all going to be deep. Y'all going to all act holy on here and say, I'm a can, I'm a will. But some of you right now, if you're honest, you won't or you can't. And the first type accomplishes everything. The second opposes everything. And the third one fails at everything. Let me again. The wills, that type of person can accomplish everything. The wants, they will oppose everything. And the can'ts, they fail at everything. People who accomplish much certainly are competent, but their attitude makes the difference, okay? A positive attitude will definitely help you avoid being part of that second group. So if you got a will, you will eliminate the wants, okay? And if you learn how to handle failure correctly, God help me, you're going to be able to keep yourself out of that third group, okay? So what tends to pull people into the can't group, all right? Most of the time it's four things, okay? The first one I want to give you is expecting failure. Expecting failure. Let me lift my hands, because when there's a problem, I expect people to leave. When we have a problem, I expect people to go acting funny and crazy. Sooner or later, we will get what we expect. You might want to write that down. Sooner or later, we're going to get exactly what it is that we expect. Usually the people who keep failing are the ones who expect to fail. They're like a pessimist who really realizes that they have got to move to a certain place, and they always are expecting the failure. Sometimes you got to switch your thinking, and because you don't have a good positive attitude, it messes you up. When you're in your feelings, as I call it, sometimes what ends up happening is we begin to now look at the person negative when they all was once all sliced bread. So some people they expect failure. Number two, they personalize failure. They personalize failure. People cannot perform in a way consistently with the way that they see themselves. So everybody fails. Let me tell you, everybody fails. I fail, you fail, we all failed at something. But people who continuously fail expect to fail and usually see themselves as a failure. There's a big difference. Please write this down. There is a big difference between failing and being a failure. There's a big difference between failing and being a failure. One thing I want to say to you that's listening to me today, and I pray that this brings some kind of healing to your heart, is that failure isn't so bad, but if it does not attack the heart, okay? Watch this here. Failure isn't so bad if it doesn't attack the heart. See, sometimes success is all right if it does not go to your head. Did y'all hear what I just said? Let me give it all to you again, because I want you to post that the correct way. Failure isn't so bad if it does not attack the heart. All right. Success is not all that right if it doesn't go to your head. All right. So you got to make sure you understand that some of you right now, you're successful, but what drags you down is when you get big headed about it. If you want to maintain a good attitude and be successful, you cannot take your failures or your success too personally. Okay, that is always a danger with anybody that's dealing with failure or dealing with success. The older you get, the more experienced you become, the more confident you will begin to realize that failures aren't really fatal and your successes really don't completely define you. Let me give that to you again. All right. You have to realize that your failures isn't all that fatal and success doesn't completely define you. And some of you right now, you are allowing your successes to think that it's making you all of that. But hear me very carefully. It's not until you fail that you learn how to come back with a try. Write this down. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And sometimes when you fail, you just got to dust yourself off and try again. Okay. So number one, if y'all are with me, number one, I told you that expecting failure. Number two, I said personalizing failure. Here's number three, refusing to take a risk. Refusing to take a risk. I want to help you. Life means risk. Life means risk, and people who sabotages themselves really should not really worry about the failure as much as they should be concerned about the chances that they miss when they don't even try. Too many people are having what I call near life experiences, if that makes sense. Okay, they go through life bunting, and they're so afraid of failure that they don't even believe that they're going to win the big prize, not even knowing the thrill of even hitting a home run, being at the plate with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs because you never took a swing the first time. Some of you right now, I'll give it to you this way. Come to the edge. No, we will fall. Come to the edge. No, we will fall. They came to the edge. They pushed them and they flew. Did y'all hear me? Some of you right now, it is not until you get to the edge of something that you get to the brink that God is going to show you what you need. I'm telling you now, one of the greatest things I've learned in the military, is this. Being on the U.S. Enterprise, to jump down into the Pacific Ocean, what ended up happening is that they knew that was about 45 feet in the air off of that craft. And watch this, and that was an exercise. They knew that you wasn't going to jump off. So what they did is they grabbed you and they threw you overboard. There was one time that I had to get out of a plane, the C-130 Hercules, and I had to do that as an exercise. They knew that we were not just going to jump because they knew when you said 1, 2, you was going to grab hold to the end. So what they did is they said, we're going to count to 3, and on 3, we all going to jump. The problem is that we knew we got the 2, we were whole. So here's what happened the first time. When they said 1, they just threw us out. And the reason being is because if you are afraid to take a risk, you will never know the thrill of what beauty would actually be like. So hear me very carefully. Those who fly always first will get out of the edge bracket. If you want to seize your opportunity, you're going to have to take a risk. If you want to grow, you're going to have to be willing to make some mistakes. If you want to reach your potential, you're going to have to take some chances. If you never do that, you are going to live your life in a place of mediocrity. You're going to live your life in a place of unknowing, and people who do not make mistakes end up working with those that does. Let me give it to you again. People who don't make mistakes end up working for people that do. And at the end of the day, you're going to regret living your life safely and not being willing to go to the other side. Okay? Number 4, letting failure defeat you. Letting failure defeat you. I am a person that has to say sometimes you're going to lose at some stuff. I don't like losing, but I realize I'm going to lose at some stuff. And everybody has to experience some kind of loss. Not everybody allows themselves to be stopped by their losses, okay? You got to prepare yourself for failure, all right? You got to train for it. You got to prepare. You got to bounce back when it comes. It may not be your fault for being down, but it is your fault for not getting up. Can you write that down, please? It may not be your fault. It may not be your fault for being down, but it is your fault for not getting up. And that's what people with the right attitude do. They get back up and they keep trying even when they lost. Okay? So So how do you profit from failure? How do you profit from failure? If you can't avoid failure, yet you are not supposed to give up. You're not supposed to let into it or color your thinking. I believe with everything in me, here's how you profit from it. When you have the right attitude, you actually can use failure to your advantage and profit from it. So number one, change your attitude. Change your attitude. Change your attitude. Some of you never try. And watch this, what I'm getting ready to tell you. Trying is the first step towards failure. Let me give it to you again. Trying is the first step towards failure. But watch this here. Laziness, here we go. Laziness is the secret ingredient that goes with failure. Did y'all hear what I just said? It is only kept a secret from the person who fails. Okay. People who succeed develop an attitude of tenacity. So if you're not tenacious, what happens is you'll quit the moment you don't see the immediate results. See, some of you right now, you believe that you should just get $1 million because you put your name on the dotted line that you're going to start something. And that's not really how life is. That's not how it goes. That's not really how we build certain things. You got to refuse to quit. You got to be determined not to let failure defeat you. And I'm telling you right now, if you're a salesperson, my doc is on here, Dr. Henry Webster. He sells cars, and I'm pretty sure that there are people that comes on his lot every day, and I'm pretty sure that there's thousands of people that come on the lot, but I'm pretty sure that he deals with a lot of no's before he gets some yeses. Are you listening to me? And sometimes you got to be willing to say, I'm not going to let it stop me because they said no. I'm not going to let it deter me because they said no. Hear me. If you had the desire to fulfill your dreams, achieve your goals, and live your life to the fullest, the kind of attitude you got to have to cultivate is you have to have a changed mind and a changed attitude. Let me see if I can give you Bible. Romans 12:2. Let this mind be in you. Am I talking right? Amen. And some of you right now, you don't have no mind because you allow everybody to tell you what to do with your mind. You got to renew your mind. Amen. And some of you right now, you're going to have to renew it, and you got to change your attitude. Okay. Number two, change your vocabulary. Change your vocabulary. Here we go. Change your vocabulary. Change your vocabulary. Two of the saddest words, and I pray that somebody would receive this. Two of the saddest words that I come to find out that people use is if only. All right. I believe that if you get trapped in your failures, you will spend your whole life saying if only. If only I had, come on, talk to me, somebody. If only I worked hard. If only I tried hard. If only I had more time with my kids. If only I could be truthful with yourself. The way to correct the mindset is to change your vocabulary by substituting, hear me, if only to next time. Did y'all listen to me? Change your words. Change the words. Amen. You got to change your words to next time. Like next time I'm going to try harder. Next time I'm going to be more kind. Next time I'm going to be more truthful. All right. Write this down. Failure isn't failure if you do better the next time. All right. Failure isn't failure if you do better the next time. I'm working on my book about impactful leadership. And one of the chapters in there is leaders on leadership. Leaders on leadership. And none of the words that I wanted to talk about at that time wanted to have failure described to their mistakes. But hear me, some of you right now, I've learned that although I've had some failures, I've used them as life lessons, life experiences, and watch what I'm getting ready to tell you. They help me detour. They help my opportunities for growth. Some of you right now, you may think that it's a very small difference, but hear me, the small difference is what makes the big differences. All right, can you write that down, please? It's the small differences that makes the big differences. And the way you think determines how you act. Please write that down. The way you think determines how you act. Amen. And some people right now, they got aught with you. They got proclivity with you. They're feeling some kind of way towards you. Now all of a sudden they can't eat from you. They don't want to be around you. It's simply because now what they think is now the way that they start acting. And it's sad that we have grown adults, we have grown leaders that act like children. Amen. That don't know how to come to the table, know how to reconcile, know how to reason. But we're in the pulpit. We're the ones that's 5-star generals. We're the ones, and the people see what it is that we do. And hear me, you got to change your vocabulary. Yeah, you may want to get them, but you're going to have to know how to get them without trying to be ignorant in getting them. So you just